The last day of the weekend is here. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's video, we'll be talking about the overview of the weather forecast through the next 7 to 10 days and getting you what you need to know as you step out the door this week for school or work. So, if you do like detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It is absolutely free to do. And again, you get detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics on this channel. And it's also very important to press the like button as well. It helps to get all this weather information out to more and more people. So looking here at the 24-hour temperature change, that cold front is still starting to move further to the south and east, and we are seeing 10 to 20 degree temperature difference from this time to just 24 hours ago across the East Coast and the southeastern parts of the United States. And waking up this morning, you can see that cold front has left a dent on those temperatures. Temperatures are down into the 40s all the way into portions of central and northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, even northern Georgia near the Atlanta region, waking up to temperatures this morning into the middle and upper 40s. We will be recovering a little bit across the south as we normally do. We'll start to see temperatures rising into the 60s, low 70s out there across Dixie Alley into the southeast there. But across the Great Lakes through the Ohio Valley and New England, it's going to be chilly again today. Afternoon highs will be stuck into the 40s and 50s out there, unless you're near coastal parts of the Northeast here into coastal Maine, Cape Cod, down there toward Long Island, New Jersey. You'll be a little bit warmer into the 60s, but still a lot cooler for this time of year. We'll start to see some return flow across the Great Plains, so Texas on up into Oklahoma, Kansas will be a touch warmer today than we did see on your Saturday. So temperatures here will be warming up further into the 70s and even into the 80s. But if you're wanting summertime warmth, you got plenty of it across portions of California, especially down in towards the San Diego region, getting down into Death Valley, even down toward Phoenix. We're closing in on 100 degrees this afternoon. So that's where the summertime heat does reside. And just looking at precip chances later on today, most of the country, I would say about 90% of us will be dry unless you live up near the Great Lakes. We have that big upper level low pressure system that is spinning across portions of the Great Lakes that could give us some moisture up there from Wisconsin down through Michigan there and parts of interior New England and even southeastern Canada as we go through this afternoon and evening. And overall, we're not going to be seeing a lot of rainfall, total rainfall accumulations here. There could be a couple areas that see over a half an inch of rain, maybe over an inch of rain if you see some steadier downpours up here into interior New England and southeastern Canada as we go through today and into your Monday morning. But other than that, we're just not seeing a lot of widespread, significant soaking rain across this region. So we're just going to see more of a nuisance type of shower and thunderstorm activity. But our next area of concern starts next week. So we have that upper level low, like we mentioned, across southeastern Canada. But the next piece of energy by Monday here to start the work week on October 9th will be just to the south of the Aleutian Islands. And that will be approaching the west coast of the United States on Monday, and then the energy from that system will be transferred down into the Rockies and the Pacific Northwest by the middle of the week. This is on Wednesday, October 11th, and then finally that system starts to mature as we see lee cyclogenesis with the low pressure system developing on the lee side of the Rockies and then developing further to the east northeast into the Midwest as we go into late week on Friday, October 13th. So let's look at what the precip chances will be through the week. You can see with that upper level low across southeastern Canada, we're just going to keep seeing areas of some showers and storms up here. Probably more showers than thunderstorms, to be quite honest with you. We just have a lot of cooler air, so not a lot of instability for thunderstorms. But look back off to the west, across portions of the Seattle region, Portland, and even down into northern, northwestern portions of California. That's the initial signs of a new storm system moving in with some soaking rains for you on Monday. And then even as we go into Wednesday, still raining there into the Seattle region and into Portland at times, with even some snow breaking out across the Rockies there as we go in towards the Idaho region, getting into western Wyoming, even the Salt Lake City area, starting to see some snowflakes flying, at least in higher elevations. on our Wednesday. And just looking at that, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, our rainfall totals here are going to be heaviest across western Washington state up there into British Columbia and then down the coast there into western Oregon and even northwest California. A couple inches of rain could be possible from Seattle down toward Eugene and even Portland, Oregon as we go through early on this week. And even like we mentioned, the snowfall could be piling up a couple to a few inches across the Rockies. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday time frame will be the time to watch here. And the upper elevations of Idaho, western Wyoming, upper elevations of Utah and Colorado could start to see some snowflakes flying around there early on here this week. But then as we go toward late week, now we're going to show you two different weather models. These are the two main global models we look at is the European model on the left, that's the ECMWF, and the GFS or the American model on the right. And we're going to look at this for disagreements. So you see on Thursday, this is on October 12th, later this upcoming week, the European model on the left has the low sitting across northeastern Kansas, and so does the GFS. But the difference here is that the European model is actually lining up precipitation right along a frontal boundary with even some heavier snows on this model breaking out in southeastern Wyoming there potentially in those higher elevations of the Rockies. The GFS doesn't have as much moisture initially with this system, and it also is a little bit weaker initially with this low pressure system and not really frontogenesis type of rains on Thursday. Now we move the clock to Friday. This is Friday the 13th. Yes, not to scare you, but we do have a stronger system to move across the Midwest. And looking at the differences in the models, the GFS is much slower of this system moving through than the European model. You can see that the European model is a little bit more compact, has more of a progressive system moving through quicker from west to east across the Midwest with possibly some severe weather. The GFS is a little bit more bullish on the warmer air moving further to the north and also the severe weather moving further to the north as well. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a solution kind of in between both of these and saying that really unchanged from yesterday's forecast, the severe weather is still possible from the mid-Missouri Valley down through the mid-Mississippi Valley and even the deep south as we go in towards next week. This is primarily Wednesday through Friday time frame for this severe weather potential, and all modes could be on the table with damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes depending on the timing, the instability, and a lot of the dynamics that come together with this system. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, and we will be updating you on that as well. But looking at rainfall potential with this has the potential to be a very nice beneficial rain for the drought up here across the Midwest and the Great Lakes. Both models are agreeing we're going to be seeing some significant rainfall, but the placement of the heaviest rain is still a little bit uncertain here. The European model is heaviest across the Hawkeye State there of Iowa into the land of Lincoln in Illinois, and also the GFS model as such, we noted it was a little bit further north with some of the warmer air and severe weather, so the heavier rains are a little bit further north as well on this model into South Dakota, Minnesota, and the Badger State there of Wisconsin. So that's what we're seeing here with the models. A little bit of some disparity early on this week, but we will see more of this coming together in fruition as the week goes on, as we get closer. But what we do need is the rain, and not just across the Midwest. We desperately need it across Arizona, New Mexico, down here into Texas, and the lower Mississippi Valley into Louisiana, Mississippi as well. Very, very dry out here. We got a lot of severe, extreme, and exceptional drought. So we are going to be chipping away at that in the Midwest, but just where that will be and with the heaviest rains is in question right now, and again, we will keep you updated. But looking through the long range forecast beyond that time frame, so later next weekend on October 15th on Sunday there through the following weekend, this is the third weekend there into October through Saturday, October 21st. Behind that system, we're going to be seeing much cooler air once again. Another strong fall front will be moving through. Temperatures will be crashing below normal across the southeast, whereas the west and the Pacific Northwest, to be exact, will be rather above normal during that time frame. And you can see, looking at those temperatures next Saturday, these are your high temperatures potentially for October 14th. We're back into the 40s and 50s for highs across the northern tier and much of the Canadian prairies, whereas we're even seeing cooler weather all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico as well, maybe only getting into the low 70s for places like Houston, Lake Charles, or even New Orleans as we go into Saturday. Here's your Saturday night overnight lows there. We could start to see more of those 30s bleeding down into portions of northern Kansas, so maybe some widespread frost there from the Dakotas down through portions of Nebraska and northern Kansas next weekend, and then we start to see more of that cooler air again as we go into that Sunday time frame. And looking at precipitation, does look rather dry in the wake of that system, so we're going to be drying out in a big way across most of the country. We may have a little bit more of some rain across the Miami region down towards Naples and Tampa Bay with some above average precipitation there, and then across the Pacific Northwest from California up through Oregon and Washington State and probably up into British Columbia as well. We'll start to see more above average precipitation during that period through that time frame. And you can see here's the potential rainfall accumulation. This is a little bit far out, but giving you an idea of how much the rainfall could be coming down and kind of the placement of it as well. Next weekend into the following week, you can see a lot of that again hitting the Seattle region, Portland, Eugene, and then down there into northwestern California. And some of that could actually move over into Idaho, western Montana, and northwestern Wyoming as well. So we'll keep an eye on that as we get further along here. If you haven't seen my winter forecast for 2023 and 24, hit the description down below this video and you can see the link to that video down there. Lots of great information on what you can expect this upcoming winter. Make sure to leave a like and also comment any questions on that video that you do have. Leave a like on this video if you like today's content. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, especially if you like detailed weather breakdowns across North America, including the tropics. We do all of that here with accurate weather forecasts on this channel. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. I do appreciate that as well, more than you know, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend out there.